Ushinate. Be ilo imo lahe. Chipike gavaki. Yidashlam Shem Kozriel Kolam Amen. So I'm taking a little bit of different tact today. I spent a lot of time thinking about how we can best protect people. Okay. And what are simple things? Obviously, the most important thing is have a functioning brain, and so which allows you, and functioning heart, which allows you to connect with your soul, because that's the name of the game. We can connect with the soul. We can be in faith. Faith means knowing the truth, and the truth is there's only God. However, you do need to have a functioning system. And so I want to share a little bit about ashwagandha. As I've been researching it up, it's a great Ayurvedic herb, but it's a little mind-blowing about all the powerful things that it can do. And I'm not going to footnote everything, but everything I'm telling you is footnoted. It's in the literature. So kind of see that. So the proper name of ashwagandha, but I like ashwagandha, is Withania somnifera dunal. That's right. I don't need it that much. But what does it do? It increases vitality, increases your resistance to disease. It helps us deal with the adverse effects of emotional stress, of sleep deprivation. It improves memory. It improves cognition. It improves clarity of mind. It's basically a super anti-aging herb, for people who are, anti-aging kind of starts around 30 these days. It balances the immune system so we don't have the excitotoxins that actually inflame everything, including the brain. It's like, wow. So I consider it a brain protector, super brain protector. Yes, it's good for energy. Yeah, it's good for all these things, but it's really good. It does improve memory. It does improve cognition. Okay. It is an anti-anxiety. It clearly improves physical endurance. I actually hadn't been taking it for a while, but I've been playing because my job is to explore and to be the researcher. And since I've been taking it, it's really moved me where I'm up to 800 push-ups every few days, and soon I'll be going to 900. But I think it had an effect on that whole thing. So I'm kind of excited about that. It's anti-inflammatory, as I mentioned, in general, but it also is anti-cancer. It's got a lot of anti-cancer qualities. So that's key. It also protects the thyroid. So those are just a little bit of what we're going on. Lowers blood pressure, decreases cholesterol and triglycerides, which are things that people worry about. I'm going to use the word brain injury. I've done a lot of research on brain injury as an ex-football player, and a lot of people come to me, they've had a concussion at some level. They don't even know they've had it. They bumped their head, they blacked out, they don't make anything of it. But I test people for it. I'm going to tell you, a lot of people have a reset from brain injury. So it really helps repair, helps seriously repair with brain injury. It's good for football players. But beyond that, people are in car accidents. All those are creating brain injury. It helps regrow the neurons, neurological cells, including the axons and dendrites, which is how it reaches out and communicates. So it helps with Alzheimer's and Parkinson's, but that's extreme. It helps at all levels of memory, brain, clarity of mind. That's really important, including motor function. It actually gets out the beta amyloid, which is connected to Alzheimer's, out of the system. So wow, I mean that's a big deal. Okay, and it regrows brain cells. That's probably the most important thing I can say about it. Now, we talk about, particularly with the COVID, the cytokine storm, it can help neutralize the whole issue of cytokine storm. Uh, there's these things called microglia cells that when they're abnormal, they create big inflammation in the brain. We see that happening when people get vaccinations. That's not immunization. Vaccination, that's where they stick it into you. Doesn't mean it's helping you, but okay. And so it helps against that kind of inflammatory response in the brain. Uh, and that's kind of, I'm going to say, one of the more important things we have to deal with, in our life today. Uh, so we want to improve our memory, we want to improve our vitality, we want to create an anti-cancer situation. Um, that's all the kind of things that happen for us. And it also improves reaction time and quickness of mind, but reaction and cognition. So it's like your reflexes. Okay. I'm just very impressed with the whole idea because as I say, I experiment on these things on myself. Okay. There's another word that people aren't familiar with, which is called ARC, activity related cytoskeleton. What the ARC and neuroderived neurotropic factors are things that rebuild the brain. Wow. So we got rebuild. Keep hearing the word rebuild the brain, repair the brain. People are getting all kinds of injuries plus everything else that's going on today. And it also helps with anxiety and depression. They're all kind of connected. Okay. And that's the key thing. Okay. How it does it is a process called neuroplasticity. If you maintain your neuroplasticity, which is what this helps you do, your ability to regrow the brain cells is there. And it's really, really quite significant. It's highly, it's very safe as well. Okay. It also protects the heart, improves endurance in general, protects the bone marrow, our ability to produce T cells and lymphocytes, immune system. So that's kind of a thing. One of the other things is they say I already said it, but it's a cancer inhibitor on multiple levels. I'm not going to go into the biochemistry of that. I just let you know it helps protect you against multiple levels of cancer, including cancer of the prostate, cervix, uterus areas. And so those are pretty important things. Protects against metastasis, which is really important. So, also cancer of the lungs, which I think is important in today's world, and cancer of the breast. So we're looking at something that, from my point of view, is a really, really important and useful herb to take, what I call preventatively. What they find is when people take this herb preventatively, things that cause brain degradation, lower brain function, are somewhat neutralized. When we, let's say there's sleep deprivation, for example, if you're taking this preventative, you're way less affected by it. So that's obviously good news. So what in my research, it kind of looks like people can take a teaspoon a day, minimum dose, and that's plenty. You can actually take about 4 times more than that. It's known as safe. I'm just giving you the basics of what the research shows. I'm not stating, exactly my opinion here, but I'm giving you the basics. So a teaspoon a day, even a teaspoon twice a day, is going to give you general overall protection. That's what's called an adaptogen. I'm adding more specifically, it helps regrow the brain, it protects brain injury, improves memory, improves clarity of mind. Those are things I didn't actually know about it until I began really studying it. So it's like, okay, we got something that's going to regrow our brain and help protect us against cortisol stress, which tends to break down the brain. So those are kind of like, that's a pretty special herb. And that's what I really want to share today is like, wow, we got something that's really, really good. It comes as a leaf and it comes as a root extract. Generally, it's the root extract that people get that's available as a powder. It's kind of what we sell in the store. I'm actually looking for the leaf and the root extract because they have slightly different qualities. So hopefully soon I will find that. I have a company that I know produces it. I just have to work out with them a deal. But just taking the root extract is going to give you all of these qualities, vitality, strength, clarity of mind, better memory, protection of heart, increasing endurance, faster reflexes, increasing general strength. It's like, wow, that sounds pretty good. So that's what I'm saying is if we kind of look at different herbs out there, this is a huge winner, and I'm just happy to share it with you with all the kinds of stresses we're talking about. And obviously, it's going to protect you against viral attacks and so forth because it does improve your immune system, but it keeps you from overreacting. The cytokine storm, it protects against cytokine storm, which is a very important thing because actually people can go in the cytokine storm if they get infected again. The body can tend to overreact. So those are just kind of an overview of what we're talking about. And so I'm going to have time for questions and answers. If there are any questions, we'll talk about what I just said, and then I have a list of questions, and Yosha will read those questions. I have a list that I prioritized to look at. So are there any questions about ashwagandha?
Just the question, the best way to take it.
Well, I take it as a powder, and I'm recommending safety, 500 milligrams twice a day. Pretty standard long-term testing has showed that's really pretty safe. I am taking more than that, but I'm an experimenter. So 500 milligrams twice a day is probably the lowest, but most effective. The minimum you can take to have the optimum effect. And a powder is good, just mix it. I mix it in my supplements. Any other questions about it?
I think that's it for that. Should I move into the other ones?
Yes, I have a list of questions I prioritized. Go ahead.
Okay. During and after the meditation sessions, I experienced the following visual appearances. I'd appreciate your comments. First, there's a dark indigo color that spreads across the entire area within the inner vision, like ink that has been spilled onto a flat surface and spreads out into a circle. Then there's a violet color that appears from the center of that dark indigo background. Then finally, there is a brilliant white light that pulses out from within the violet circular light, which lasts a few seconds. Then the entire sequence begins again and repeats for a few more minutes. What's the meaning of this visual appearance?
Well, it's a good sign because you clearly means the Kundalini, Rock Kadesh has been awakened. You reach that kind of the fourth level, what I call the blue light, but it's the super conscious level. And so all those colors are all in that, the indigo and since the violet. So it's actually very good. So you clearly had an indication of the Kundalini awakening. Excellent.
Okay, we've got a live question from the Zoom room here.
Yes.
Go ahead, Sam.
Sam, go ahead.
Oh, hi, I don't have a question. I'm sorry.
Is your name Sam or what's your name?
Can you hear? It is Sam. I don't have a question. I'm sorry. I must have hit it by accident. I'm so sorry.
No problem.
It's
nice to hear your
Samantha.
voice.
It's Samantha.
That's a great name. Okay, I like
No,
that.
no, no. I know you. It's from New York.
Right, I know who Samantha is. Got it.
Okay.
Very cool.
Did you do Shaktipat already?
I will be doing it in a few minutes, and you're getting it already.
Okay, thank you.
And you should know that because I was in your apartment, if I recall, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You and your boyfriend way up in the tower.
Yeah.
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 Nice to hear you, Smith.
Good to see you.
Good.
Okay, Ruff. Here's another question. During fasting, my heart rate always goes up, especially in the evening, and it's very unpleasant feeling. Stress. Do you know why this is?
Well, first of all, I want to say yes, I do. But I also want to say we're getting into 2 weeks before we start our fast. We're pretty full. I'd like not a lot more, maybe 4 more people to take it to a kind of special Kabbalistic number. And so I invite everybody to join the fast. I mean, I'm happy to go more than that, of course, but this is your time. So you got 2 weeks to prepare. And so I invite you all really to sign up for the fast. Just go to treeoflife.mn.co. Sign up for the fast. We're keeping it at a very low price. We have it kind of with a variety of translators, both Spanish and Portuguese, if we get enough Spanish and Portuguese people. So please come to the fast. Now, during a fast, there's a tendency for the blood pressure to drop. Now, for a lot of people, that's a good thing. Actually, it's life-saving. And what I find is that people who have high blood pressure often go to normal and stay there. We call it an epigenetic reset. Epigenetic reset. So it's a really positive thing. And about over 90% of the people who have high blood pressure reset epigenetically at a normal level. Now, didn't quite answer your question, but the point is during a fast, unless you're having increase the volume of fluid, you can tend to have a more rapid heartbeat, okay, and a little bit of drop in blood pressure. And what you want to do is first drink more fluid, because it means you're a little low in fluid, and you should be urinating every 2 hours during the fast, even every 1 hour. And the other thing is you get up slowly. You can still do the yoga. We will have yoga, but you don't want to get up too quickly because you can get what we call orthostatic hypotension. In a period of time, it usually goes away. But so that's really the answer to the question is that yes, there's a drop in blood pressure. When there's a drop in blood pressure, the heart rate can go up. Not dangerous as long as you move slowly and thoughtfully and don't get up, stand up too quickly. And again, everyone's invited to the fast. It's going to be pretty exciting. It's really our first internet fast, so we're paying a lot of attention to it. So please sign up. We're looking at least 4 more people. Okay. We have enough. I want to go to what? We're at a certain number, which is about life, and the next one is about liberation. Okay. More questions?
Is regeneration of cells helped by intermittent fasting of 12 hours or more with no food?
Yes. We know that not just intermittent fasting, but actually a 7-day fast, it is proven that we get regeneration of all the cells. And I'm going to say regeneration of the beta cells of the pancreas, but also regeneration of the brain cells, as I mentioned, with neuroderived neurotrophic factor and antioxidants. And then, as I was just talking about with ashwagandha, we have this other kind of general rebuilding. It definitely has been proven to happen. Yes, we do regenerate our brain. We do regenerate our brain cells. We do regenerate our heart cells. We do regenerate the cells in our pancreas. That's one of the great advantages. Intermittent fasting is the very first level of that, but you do a 7-day fast, you're getting very significant regeneration, and it's a very positive effect of the fasting. So we're regenerating pancreas, brain, heart, and actually liver cells as well. It's a very exciting part of it. I mean, you think, oh, I'm fasting, I'm losing, but you aren't. You're stimulating certain things. As I mentioned, neuroderived neurotrophic factor, NRF2, is another thing that gets stimulated. And as I kind of mentioned, a new thing that I've been talking about today is the whole idea of bringing in, I just have to think with our car, the whole idea of another antioxidant type of situation that really protects us. So that's kind of the truth of the situation. Because we ARC is what I'm talking about, but it stimulates neuroplasticity, which stimulates regrowing and repair of the brain cells. So it's like, wow, it's a win-win-win. So ARC is a kind of a key concept here that I'm talking about. Okay, other questions?
I'm signed up for the fast, but I do not wish to do enemas. Having fasted in the past with and without enemas, I prefer not to use enemas, especially because usually I get a spontaneous emptying of the bowels completely naturally at around, well, doesn't say, but.
I think it says around 2 days.
Yeah.
Okay, so my answer is, we definitely recommend taking enemas because a lot happens when you're doing an enema. You're pulling out toxins. You're not just thinking about your bowels. The enemas pull the toxins literally out of the system by creating this fluid there that will pull the toxins out of the bowels. There are people who just do, as you suggested in your question, really, things that can, herbs that can stimulate you having bowel function. And so that's fine. If you want to do that, that's fine. But it's nowhere near as good as an enema in the big picture. Because when you're taking an enema, it takes about 6 days to clear out the bowel toxins, not just from the bowel, but from the brain. So using cathartics is okay. It's passable, but it's really not top of the line. So enemas are a much more powerful way to really detoxify the system. And there are multiple reasons for why that is, but I'm just, in this situation, I'm just saying enema is a better way. And if you want to use cathartics, go ahead.
Okay, next question. I have been wondering how Judaism sees the birth of Jesus in relation to the Jewish Messiah prophecies. Any insights there? Much appreciated.
Well, Judaism really says prophetically, in each generation, a quote, kind of a Messiah will be born, okay, which will uplift that generation. I see Jesus as that in that generation. But the Messiah, it proposes really two Messiahs, Messiah ben Yosef, Messiah ben Yehuda, and Messiah ben David. And their effect will be to change the world. Their effect will be to wake people up. The effect will be take us to a higher level of understanding. And the truth is, after Jesus, what do we got? We got the Dark Ages. So from a Jewish point of view, he doesn't fulfill the criteria for prophecy of the Messiah. Besides, as far as I'm concerned, Messiah for that generation, which is uplifting the people of that generation. I do believe that's what he was for that group. But for the Messiah ben David and Messiah ben Yosef, the criteria of a great change in the consciousness of the society, okay, what we got is the Dark Ages. That is not exactly in alignment with the meaning of the Messiah. So why do Christians say there's a second coming? Because the first coming, even the Christianity is saying, hey, it didn't really happen. Well, we got to have a second coming. Well, fine. In the Jewish tradition, there's only one coming. Okay. And that is what I believe is we're entering that cycle. We're in the first year of the cycle, which is chaos, in case you haven't noticed, for the world. But then from that, we're going to move into the Messianic time, and Messiah ben Yosef will be killed in the battle of Agamemnon. But we're in that cycle. This is very exciting times. We just have to make our way through it. So that's kind of more the classical Jewish point of view. There's no second coming. You come, it's happening. And society has changed for the next 1,000 years. We don't go into a dark age.
Okay, I've been eating rainbow green live food cuisine. I have my fasting sugar down to 150. I have been getting help from my husband and son in making my food. They're both sick. They can't help me anymore. I'm physically challenged. I have a hard time making my own food. What can I eat that is cooked? I have your book. Don't know what to eat if I cook things, or maybe something I can buy pre-made. Right now I'm making a pickup order. All I have in my cart is hummus. Is hummus okay to eat? Will it lower my blood sugar? Any suggestions would be great.
It's an interesting question, okay? So we know in my book, what does it say? 100% live food diet is going to move that. So don't worry about cooked food. Don't have it if you want to get your blood sugar in a normal range. Your fasting blood sugar optimally is 70 to 85 to be totally perfectly healthy. Less than 100 is good. Diabetes is considered fasting blood sugar of 126 or higher. So you're still diabetic. You need to up your game. Go to live food. That way you don't have to worry about cooking. And that is going to give you by far the best results. So good. If your family can't do it, go to live foods. That's salad. That's not that hard to do. Don't worry about cooking. So God is taking care of you. Whatever God does is for the best. If they can't cook your food, that's a bonus, because really it's 100% live food diet until you're going to get your blood sugar less than 100. So you got a break. You got a gift from God. So take advantage of it. Next question.
Okay, we've got some questions coming up in the Facebook chat
Okay,
here.
we just have time for 2 more questions before we go into meditation.
Okay. Individual says, never been able to fast since I get strong headaches just a few hours after eating. They want to fast.
I'm sorry, it didn't make sense.
Yeah.
Headache after eating?
No, without food.
Okay.
Just a few hours after they eat, then they get headaches. They got to eat again, and then it looks like the headaches go away from not eating. They want to fast, but for detoxing, reset the whole system. And then the same individual asks, does it matter if they have their gallbladder removed?
Okay. It doesn't matter if you have your gallbladder removed while you're fasting, because the fact is you need that from the gallbladder to digest fats. Well, while you're fasting, you're not going to get a lot of fats. So what you're describing is an imbalance of blood sugar. So your blood sugar goes up and then it goes down. When it goes down, you get one of the classic symptoms of low blood sugar called headache, confusion, fatigue. All these things happen. So what you are describing is hypoglycemia, just basically what you're saying. I'm not saying that's your diagnosis, but that's what I commonly see. After a few days of fasting, the system begins to correct itself, and a lot of those issues go away. What you don't want to do is have any fruit juices while you're fasting. But the best way to heal the blood sugar issues is a green juice fast, particularly if it's diluted in half. So I'm going to say, I won't give you a guarantee, but my experience has been we get really good results treating high blood hypoglycemia with fasting, if you can hang in for a few days, your blood sugar will start to stabilize. It's going like this. So you eat, it goes up and then it goes down. Okay, because it's out of balance. Your insulin secretion it gets to be excessive. There's a variety of things that go on. That's a detail. The key is when you fast, instead of doing this, it starts to do more like that. And then we get away from the hypoglycemia. That may take 3 or 4 days where it starts to go to normal because you're not getting a sugar hit, which you can't seem to metabolize. So that's the key. So fasting can be very helpful, but you gotta, don't get sucked into a drop in blood sugar means you have to eat. That's true, but when you're fasting, that will go away in a few days because your blood sugar will become stabilized. So it's actually a really good question.
Is there any danger in taking too many herbs? Does it heat up the liver at all?
Of course, it depends on the herb, right? What we know is ashwagandha is really good for heart and for the liver. So the word heating up, it just depends on the herb. Ashwagandha, I don't think does that. It's really for healing. It's really for healing the liver and the heart and the brain. One more question.
Can ashwagandha lower your blood pressure, or can it make it too low, is the question.
It can lower your blood pressure. It can lower your cholesterol. It can lower your triglycerides. It is a adaptogen, so it brings it to normal. So if you have more ashwagandha, it's not going to make it abnormally low. It's going to bring it to normal. That's the key concept. That's the meaning of an adaptogen. It's about rebalancing. It's not taking you from one place down to another imbalanced place. So it's a good question to understand. As an adaptogen, it brings you to a normal balance. That's the key concept. And as does fasting, and add another level. Okay, so those are all good questions. I'm glad to share that with you. Fasting is one of the great healing modalities, and people with blood sugar problems really do well as diabetes. But you want raw, raw juices, not cooked juices. Okay, and we want to dilute our juice in half. So we have the movies up of how to do this. We've really made a real effort to make it really simple for people how to prepare juices, how to take the juices. We will be supporting you. This is our first run at doing the internet, given everything that's going on in the world, the variations of lockdowns, So I have a feeling we'll be doing this more than a few times. So we appreciate your support. How do you support? Join us. Be part of the fast and get better. It's a great thing also for detoxing in our very toxic environment with the lockdown. So it's a really, really super positive thing to do in the bigger picture. Okay, now we're going to talk about meditation. So meditation is about creating a quiet mind so we can transcend it. I'm just going to drink a little water here. So, first step in meditation, sit quietly. That's good. And then observe your thoughts. Third, particularly if the Kundalini or Ruach Kodesh is awakened, you may have movements, kriyas. Don't worry about it. Just observe. No, that's a really good thing. It's a really good thing. Okay, that's what you really have to get on that. Fourth is the technique of meditation. Now, it's very simple here. I have a mantra card, and it's Yod and then breath, Hey on that breath, Wah and then breath, Hey on that breath. Yod from the base up to the heart, Hey out to the heart. Wah from the base up to the third eye, or what we call dot, D-A-A-T, and then Hey out to the heart. We're merging the heart and the mind. You just keep doing that till your mind's quiet. Then you're in meditation. So that's as simple as it goes. I'm also going to be giving, as Samantha asked before, Shaktipat through the eyes and with the sound. And I'll do it about 3 minutes into the meditation. So that's our game plan. Now, in the 1800s, Rabbi Nachman said something really interesting. He said, we dance to undo the evil decrees of the state, which is a little bit what's going on today. And we dance for joy, and we dance for love. So we're going to dance for 3 minutes. I'll be out there dancing, but also I invite you to join me in the show. So I'm now going to go to the dance part of the story, and I'll be there in 1 second. We're going to dance for 3 minutes, and then we'll come back here again. Okay.
Rolled into Nazareth, I was feeling about 8:30. Just need some place where I could lay my head. Hey, mister, can you tell me where a man might find a bed? He just grinned and shook my hand, knows all he said. Take a load off, Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off, Fanny. Put the load right on me. I picked up my bags, went looking for a place to hide. When I saw both gone under the devil walking side by side, say, hey, come on, let's go downtown. She said, I gotta go, but my friend can stick around. Take a load off, baby. Take a load for free. Take a load off, baby. Put the load right on me. Go down, Miss Moses. There ain't nothing you can say. Just so Luke, and Luke's waiting on Judgment Day. Well, Luke, my friend, what about young Annalie? Said, do me a favor, son, won't you stay and keep Annalie company? Take a load off, Fanny. Take a load for free. Take a load off, Fanny. Put the load right on me.
Okay. Here we go. We're going to meditation. Just energy's coming through. I'm sending out to the eyes. A classical way to help awaken the spiritual energy, the Kundalini, the Ruach Kodesh. Here we go. Okay, we're going into meditation. Just repeat Yod and then breath. Hey, out breath. Wah and then breath. Hey, out breath. Now just a little bit of visualization. As we inhale, we draw the cosmic energy down to the crown and also bring it up from the base into the heart. So inhale slowly into the heart. And then we exhale, sending this firepower of God throughout our whole body, burning up all areas of darkness, transforming them into light. And now breathe in again, pulling from the cosmic and from the base into the heart. And now exhale, sending that firepower of God around the planet, burning up all areas of darkness, transforming it into light. Now inhale again into the heart. And this time when we exhale, we're sending this firepower of God out into the solar system, out into all the multi-dimensions, beyond time and space, burning up and transforming all areas of darkness in the whole solar system and in the multi-dimensionals back into light. Now we'll continue to meditate for another 10 minutes. Okay, slowly come out of meditation. And we'll just take a few minutes of sharing. So how many people felt heat, spontaneous movements, saw colors, variety of things which we call kriyas? So I want to just get a sense of it, and I'll speak to it. Yoshi, are you there?
Yes, we're just waiting for the
Okay, when we
sharings to
finish,
come in.
just leave the picture on. I have to check something out with the video with you.
Okay,
Don't turn it off.
sure.
So I felt lots of light on my, can you read it? Doesn't give me the whole thing. But Paul, if you felt lots of light, that's a sign in this context that the Kundalini is awake. In my heart, oh, I felt lots of light on my heart. Okay, so that's a sign of the heart chakra opening. That's really good. But that's also, that's also a sign of the Kundalini awakening.
Okay, on the Facebook feed, individuals said they felt heat. Another individual saying they feel heat through the whole body.
So the heat is a sign of the Kundalini Ra Kadesh awaken. It's like more energy is going through, if you think about it as an electrical wire, more energy is going through that electrical wire and it's going to heat up. In this context, it's a sign that the Kundalini Ra Kadesh has been awakened. That's great. That's a very good. Time for one more question. For sure.
Nothing yet.
Okay, so we're gonna end the session. This is really good. Again, I want to invite you to really a sequence. We have a weekend, Friday night, Saturday, Sunday, where we're meditating 3 hours, 3 times a day. And then directly following that will come the fasting retreat. So it's a great combination. And that's really, the fasting retreat really starts on the 20th. And I believe the meditation is the 17th, 18th, 19th, like that. So we have a nice sequence for supporting everyone's spiritual life in this kind of lockdown in a way, but it's like a time to really wake up. So I invite you all to attend. I'd love to see at least 4 more people, making a very special holy number with that. So peace be with you. Shalom, shalom, shalom. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Om Vitakyo Asin. Aho. Okay.